amazing universe that we live in. He will tell us some things that we already know about the universe, some things we don't know, and some things that we may have forgotten about the universe. But his goal is to give us some facts that will hopefully motivate and inspire us to think about the amazing universe that we live in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Carlos Campos, who will, his speech title is The Amazing Universe We Live in.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I'm going to talk about the amazing universe that we do live in. Now, I am a world-class fisherman. My photos will prove it. I could teach any of y'all how to fish and catch big fish. But I'm not really qualified to talk about the universe. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physicist. Just an ordinary human being with a lot of curiosity. And I did some research. I want to share my research with you. Hopefully I communicate it to you in a simple, easy to understand way without any scientific gibberish. Now I'm going to start out with some basics. You know we live on the planet Earth, beautiful planet. It's part of the solar system. 8 or 9 planets, depends whether you count Pluto or not, revolves around the sun. The solar system is part of the galaxy called the Milky Way. Now, I forgot. The Milky Way has billions and billions of stars like our sun that have revolving planets. They used to think that the Milky Way was it, but we discovered that there's billions and billions of other galaxies, all of them with billions and billions, some of them with trillions of stars like our sun. Now, man has gotten so much more intelligent as time has passed. We've made so many technological advances. You know, understanding DNA, computers, I could go on and on. Because geniuses like Einstein and many others have spent their entire lives studying the universe and making discoveries, determinations, coming up with theories, and sharing them with us. For example, space probes. Hundreds of them we've sent out that have studied the universe and given us so much knowledge. The Hubble telescope can see billions of miles, and we've learned so much about the universe. Now, since the beginning of time, I'm going to say that there's about 6 questions that mankind has always asked, and I'm going to go through those 6 questions. The first one is, how was the universe created? Well, one of the geniuses, Hubble, who the telescope is named after, he determined that the universe was expanding with time, expanding. And so he used his brain to figure out if you went back in time, the universe would disappear. You just would have a blob. Don't know what caused this, but the blob exploded. And it's called the Big Bang. And it's still spreading out right now. One of the crumbs from the blob became the Earth, and the other pieces became all the other planets and stars and galaxies. Question number 2 is, when was the universe created? Again, these smart people came up with this called carbon dating, where they can test rocks and determine how old they are. They took the dinosaur bones and determined that they were 150 million years old. They found some rocks in Australia and determined that the Earth was about 14 billion years old. So the Big Bang happened about 14 billion years ago. Here's my favorite question. It's the most fascinating. How big is the universe? First of all, we have no clue. We have no idea. We know how big part of it is because of all the discoveries, that we've made. Now, I'm going to throw numbers at you. For example, the national debt, 17 trillion. We don't deal with trillions or billions or millions. We don't understand those numbers. My goal is to make you imagine or comprehend something that's hard to understand. That's the universe. For example, there's Jupiter, and look how bigger it is than the Earth. And there's Jupiter compared to the Sun. And there's one star compared to the Sun. And their star is much bigger than that star. Now, to determine size, it's basically speed times time equals distance. For example, if I'm doing 60 miles an hour, in 1 hour I travel 60 miles. Now, Muhammad Ali, the greatest, said he was the fastest man on earth. He was so fast he could turn out the light and be in his bed before the room was dark. Now, that was funny. Everybody laughed. But he's not faster than the speed of light. Because the speed of light is the fastest known speed that we've got. 186,000 miles in 1 second, 700,000 miles in an hour, and 6 trillion with a T miles in a year. It's called a light year. Now I'm going to try and turn that into something you can comprehend. this is top secret. It's supposedly the fastest jet that we have. It goes 2,200 miles an hour. If it didn't have to refuel, how long do you think it would take to circle the Earth? I'll tell you, 11 hours. The speed of light can circle the Earth, I'm going to tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in 1 second. It's hard to believe, but that's just a fact. 7 times in 1 second. Now, y'all remember the movie Planet of the Apes? I was 14 years old when I saw this movie. A part of it I didn't understand. You know, when their ship sunk and they were stuck, they said, well guys, this is home, we're here forever. One of them said, man, I'm going to miss my family. I think Charleston Heston said, hey, even if you could get back, they'd all be dead, they'd be gone. I didn't know what he meant. A little bit of research, theory of relativity. When you're going the speed of light, time slows down. There's something called the twin paradox theory, where, let's say 2 twins are side by side. One of them travels the speed of light. He comes back to the Earth, he's aged a year, but the other person is an old man. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, I talk about the speed of light again. It takes 1.3 seconds to get from Earth to the Moon, 8 minutes to get to the Sun, 35 minutes to get to Jupiter, 4 to 6 hours to get to Pluto, which is 3 trillion miles away. Now this is amazing. The Earth, to get to the center of the Milky Way, will take 25,000 light years. To go from one end of the Milky Way to the other end will take 100,000 light years. This is the Andromeda Galaxy. It's the furthest galaxy that man can see with his bare eyes. Couldn't do it, but an astronomer with skill could see it. It takes 2.5 billion years to get there. Here's the last one. This is the furthest star that the Hubble telescope can see. It's 13.2 billion light years away. Now I'm going to translate that into something you can understand. 13 billion light years is 76 with 24 zero miles. And that's not the end of the universe. The good news is in about 2 years they're going to launch another Hubble, so we'll be able to see further. Question number 4, is there other intelligent life in the universe? We all got opinions. My opinion is yes, because if you look at the stars, all you see is the past. You don't see the present. For example, I'll tell you that one star that's 13 billion light years away. All we're seeing is the light that took 13 billion years to get here. But it's progressed by 13 billion years. If we were on that planet and they saw the light of the Earth, they're looking at the Earth 13 billion years ago. We didn't exist. But now we've progressed by 13 billion years. So when you look at the stars, you're looking at the past. This is the biggie. These questions are the most that have been asked in the history of mankind. Who created the universe and why was the universe created? I want to emphasize, I believe in the Creator. We're not here because of luck or some accident. We were created by an incredible Creator with powers that are beyond the comprehension of mankind. And I use the word Creator instead of God because there's been so many religions and definitions of God, and so many religions with different theories and philosophies, that we're just not going to know who the Creator is until either He shows up or we die or the universe dies. And the fact is, it's sort of bad news. We are going to die and the universe is going to die. A couple of theories. As the universe is expanding, it's either going to hit the end of the universe and blow up, we're going to die, or it's going to expand forever. And if it expands forever, we're going to freeze to death because the stars are being separated from the sun and we're going to die. Right now you look and see stars, but maybe in a million years there'll be nothing up there. Now, this is reality, not a theory. This is a real picture of the Hubble telescope took of a star dying. The Earth is going to die. The universe is going to die. We don't know when, but it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to close with 2 points. We don't know when the end's going to come, so we need to enjoy life as much as possible as if it's our last day on Earth. And we look to the stars and count our blessings that a Creator gave us such an amazing universe to live in. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Carlos, for that wonderful speech. Timer, and I have 1 minute for evaluation. purposes.